Hello, today I'm going to be reviewing my Graco DLX 4Ever car seat. I've had this for just shy of 3 years now, so I'll go over the pros and cons of this as well as any secret tips I've learned along the way. I got this actually as my second car seat. The first one was just sort of a standard carrier car seat where you can put the car seat in and then take the carrier out when you go to like grocery store or errands or whatever. But after your kid's not a baby, so when mine was 1.5 is when I got this. And I got it because Graco's known for the safety and just the quality of the product. So I chose this one. The nice thing is this was originally a backwards facing. So this was turned around when my daughter was 1.5, and then after she got older, I was able to turn it around, so now it's a forward facing. That was a really exciting day for her. When she gets a little bit older, we'll continue raising this headrest up here, and then what'll happen is this will just be like a normal seat for her. And then finally, when she gets even bigger, we could take off this top part and it's just a booster. The other nice thing too is the booster can be used for traveling. So if you're traveling and you want to take them in a taxi or whatever, and you can't bring the whole car seat, you could take the back off and then just use the booster. So that's a nice thing. This is good for many years to come. I won't have to buy another thing. So that's really good. It has 2 cup holders, which is really nice. One secret tip that I have is to get one of these. They are like a cup holder insert, and then it has like a little plate here, so they could still put their cup here and have their drink, but then you could put goldfish or whatever snacks you have right here. And we used this a week ago on a road trip. We were driving 2 states over, and she had this. That's where you could see the stains from all the stuff. So it's nice to have this in there. Another secret tip is we have this little footstool here, which has a little toilet under it for her. So when we are on road trips, if she has to go and we're not near a bathroom or anything like that, she could just use that portable toilet and also the stool, because this is pretty high, right? Because you could see a kid has to climb in, she uses the stool, she gets up. So if you get a little footstool, it's nice to have. This is really nice because it is a 5-point seat belt. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so when everything is attached, it's hard to do with one hand, but these two go in together, and then this should be, let's see if I can get it, there we go. This should be pulled up onto the sternum, so you just kind of pull up that way, pull it onto the sternum, and then this goes on the shoulders. And then on the same strap, so each side has one of these that go into this middle section. This goes in between the legs. Their legs go through that little loop there, and you do the same on the other side. Once you have that in, there's just a little strap up here. You pull on that, and then it tightens it. So you want to make sure it's pretty tight. The other thing too, you want to have the seatbelt in tight so it doesn't do what just happened. I've loosened it for this demonstration so I can show some of the features, but you typically want to tighten the seatbelt and everything so it doesn't do that. Let me just lower this again. One of the other nice things about this, sorry, I'm not in focus here. One of the nice things is it has this little headrest, which all of this can come off and wash. So I'll just press these buttons here, and then I'll separate that, and then I'll press this little button here that'll pop out. And so to loosen it, there's a little button here. You press on it like that, and then you pull up there. So I'll need to do that with 2 hands. Okay, so I've loosened that. You have these buttons up here on both sides, and I've left this side buttoned, but this side I've pre-unbuttoned. So this button's to the top here, so that this shoulder strap stays where it needs to be, and then it buttons to the actual car seat itself. But once you unbutton it, this whole thing can come out. You can throw this in the wash in case it gets dirty. There's some more buttons down here that do the same thing. down there. But once I pull this out, you see that's where the seatbelt goes in. So the seatbelt comes from down there, goes through this little hole right here, which brings it in here, through there, and then through there. So you just press this little button and pull that up, and then that's how you get it through. Goes out the other side and then clicks into the seat like normal, the seat belt. So the nice thing is you push that down and it'll have a click. See, it's a very loud click, so you know that it's secure. That's very safe to have because it keeps the car seat in. Let's see what else. Okay, so let's move to the back. There's a thing on the back of the car. So coming over here, there's a strap, and that comes from the back. I've taken this off, but it's basically just a little push deal. And then there's a hook on the back of your car. And so this is one of the hardest things to do with the seatbelt, or the car seat. So if you're doing this a lot of times, taking it in and out, this is the most frustrating piece, right? Because the other side is just take the seatbelt out, pull it through, and you're done. With this, it's such a small space. I feel like car manufacturers never actually thought about this. There's not enough room to get your finger in there to actually press this down. So it's pretty hard to do. But yeah, if you're not changing cars a lot, then this is fine. The other thing is too, I have a little sunscreen here. That's another secret tip. If you can get a sunshade like that, they can always just put it on their window themselves really easily. Okay, two more things I want to mention real quick is there is this little thing that helps you level it. There are 6 settings here, and so you can adjust to make sure that this is level. Just make sure you're on flat ground. So you can adjust it so it's forward or back to make sure that they're comfortable. I've mentioned how this is an all-in-one, and so this is something that you buy one time. It's good pretty much until your kid just uses a regular seatbelt. One downside to having such a flexible unit that can go from a rear facing to a front facing to a normal seat to a booster is that there's a lot of complexity in that. And so when you're doing those changes, it is a little bit hard the first time. Luckily, you only do it once, so that frustration is short-lived, but it's better than having to buy multiple units. What that also means is this is a little bit bigger and possibly heavier than other car seats. So my sister, we went out to lunch once, and her kids wanted to go for a ride with us to the park afterwards. And so they wanted to bring their car seats in. Well, one of them has a booster, so they put it in the middle, and then the other one had a car seat, and it was smaller, but with this one, I don't think that you could fit 3 Graco car seats in the back seat. I think there's not enough space. You could probably fit 2 and have very little space in the middle. So it is a bit bulkier for that reason. So if you have a lot of kids, you got to consider the space. If you have a third row, that's not an issue, but this is pretty wide. Having said all that, I'm really happy with this purchase. It's really easy to use. I've moved this car seat from my car to my wife's car to my in-laws' car to my car to the grandparents' car, just all over the place. And once you've done it twice, it's really easy to do. It is really simple to install. There's a little bit of learning curve the first time you do it, but I'm really happy about this car seat. It's very comfortable. My daughter has no problem falling asleep in this on car rides and road trips and stuff like that. And after 8 hours in the car on a road trip, 2 days in a row last weekend, she was fine and she was happy. So I think this was a great purchase overall. I'm really happy, and I can't wait to take, when she's big enough, I could take the seat off and just use it as a booster. That'll be exciting time for me and for her, but this is something that can grow with the family. So anyways, that's all I have to say. Hope this was helpful, and thank you for watching.